Will Landon's, he's healthy. Played I think last night or no, didn't play last night. He's going to be playing here, so he's a possibility maybe down the road too. So we got to see what we got, basically.
Vegas. So Vancouver has never beaten Vegas in this building in regulation since Vegas came into the league. Does this feel like whatever term you want to use, measuring stick game or something like that? Is this game one of those?
Well, for us, I think I don't know, the measure stick. It's obviously you're excited to play these type of games. Like, I mean, think of Vegas. Everywhere they go, they hear the same thing. Hey, we're the measuring stick. We're that team. But for me, it's kind of fun. There's whether it's I don't know, first place on the line, little things like that motivate you. A lot of games left. I mean, I don't think it defines either team, the result, but I think the reaction of our players against this team to see how we play against them is something that we're all looking for to see. Because, they got 4 lines, 60. I know they got a couple of D are banged up, but they still don't miss a beat.
Talked highly about the defense core from that Vegas team over there. What is it that your team needs to do to kind of break through what they have? And I know they're missing a couple guys as well.
Yeah, they're long. I think you got to hold pucks against any defense, but it's really important to win those puck battles, even against bigger guys. And then when you get it, you got to skate. I call it the good ice. You can't if you stand around against Vegas, you're in trouble. You got to skate. You got to make them work like every team, but especially this team. You got to make them work. You can't let them. If you're not skating against them, you're in trouble.
We're about just past the quarterway part of the season, I guess. Working with Niels Höglander, it feels like this is the year where he's starting to figure out a lot of the things that he needs to do in a depth role to be successful and consistent. What's it been like for you just working with Niels up to this point in the season?
Yeah, he's chipping away at his game. Like he's it's funny. I thought the last game, I put him up there in line. He gave some energy to Millsy's line. And then sometimes on the forecheck, we want him to be in a certain place, and sometimes he goes a little too wide, and that's why we get odd man rushes. And he corrected himself last game twice. I could see he wanted to do the old habit, and he said, "Oh," and he put the brakes on, and he got. So that's the next step for him. Like now, it's habitual for him where he knows where he has to be. But I saw that last game where he corrected himself. Like I didn't see that before. He would just go wide, and then you have a 3-on-2 against you. Where now it's like I'm watching. Oh no, I got to be here. So if he can get to that level, I mean, he's a damn good player.
Certainly plays with an edge.
Yeah.
Sometimes crosses. Do you think that's important for him to play that way and that brings other parts?
I mean, he has to be a pest and a bulldog out there and on the forecheck and run into people. But, you got to be careful too. You can't be undisciplined, stick penalties and things like those are, holding, the holding stuff you can't do. But you can't take the reckless thing away from him as that's his game. I like him playing reckless on the forecheck especially.
He had a great rookie year down in Abbotsford mostly last year and now back. What do you think for him that he gained going down to Abbey for that season?
I think Jeremy Call did a great job. Hockey IQ, that's something when I got here, that was something that he had to work on, and I'm seeing him chip away at that. And there's times I got to get him out there more. To be honest, unfortunately, he doesn't penalty kill. He's on the power play, so he sits there for 5-6 minutes. If you take the power play and penalty kill away in a game, I mean, he'd be, he'd probably get those 12, 13 minutes. But yeah, there's some times I got to get him out there, and I try to bump him up with maybe even tonight might bump him up on the top 2 lines every once in a while. I think having him sit there when you're a forechecking guy like that, you got to get him out there.
You talk so much as well about the rest of the team being predictable. How much of his growth is about the environment around him in terms of how his teammates are playing?
Huge.
Just that he knows what they're doing, that he doesn't have to sort of guess.
Like when I say he's got to play reckless, but he also has to have the confine of our system. Like he has to be in certain places because it's crucial, right? And I think being in the environment he's been this year, he's starting to chip away at it, even in practice. And we're doing a lot of correcting, and he's and we have a lot of coaches always in his ear watching video. The Twins have really taken a lot of video with him this year. But like I said, I saw a aha moment for me last game twice. He almost went to the old habit and he corrected himself, and that's the next. It's almost like he broke through. Now he's got to. This is a big test for not so much Hoggy, our team, but even Hoggy. Like they're a disciplined, smart, well-coached team. we got to be the same against this team. We can't be just reckless and diving everywhere because they're pretty good at countering against that.
You weren't there for a long time, but will it be strange going up against a bunch of your former teammates that you won a championship with?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I mean, even since I left Pittsburgh last year, I haven't played against Pittsburgh, so it'll be the first time playing against a former team. So yeah, probably a little weird. But, I'm sure I'll get over it pretty quick and hopefully early on in the game.
How excited are you guys to test yourselves against that team after all the success that they had last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good challenge for us. I don't think anything changes regardless of who we're playing against. I think, we kind of want to focus more on ourselves and what we need to do to keep getting better. And, obviously a big game within the division and, kind of fight for the playoffs. I know it's still early, but these points are going to be big kind of going down the stretch. So, we're kind of more focused on ourselves, to be honest.
What have you keyed in on in terms of adjustments to get to playing that full competitive 60 minutes?
Yeah, just staying consistent. I think puck management's a big one. I think, the more we can limit our turnovers and limit the opposition's possession time, I think, that'll kind of do a better job of maintaining momentum and trying to limiting their momentum as much as we can. I thought, last game, we had some good offensive zone time, and that just, I think, gives energy for the whole group and for the next line going out there, even if we don't necessarily get a scoring chance or a goal. So that's kind of been a big thing. But, yeah, mostly just staying consistent and bringing good energy and effort levels.
What are your personal memories of that run through the spring?
It's just a lot of fun. I think, it's such a good group of guys over there. Everything was, some intense games for the most part in between, and everything was very loose locker room. Everyone's kind of joking around a lot. Everyone's getting along really well. So it was just a fun, kind of exciting time of, on the road, spending time together, having the, meal together the night before the games, watching all the other games. Yeah, just mostly a lot of fun. Yeah.
With your two wingers right now, it's very different styles of forecheck from Garland and Joshua. What do you like about the fit playing in between those guys?
Yeah, I think, kind of each of us has a little bit of a different skill set, so I think that kind of maybe, helps us complement one another in a way. But I think as far as like the mindset, we're all pretty similar as far as, effort level and trying to outwork the other team every time we're out there and being tenacious on the puck and things like that. So I think kind of the combination of those two kind of, I think, helps us, get on pucks and maintain possession and things like that.